video. Today I'm doing a get ready with me. I'm going to show you guys how I do my makeup. I'm using a lot of new affordable makeup and I'm super excited that it came out as good as it did, honestly, because I was a little bit skeptical for a hot second, but I really love the way it came out. So if you want to see what products I use and how I use them, then keep watching. For my primer today, I'm using this mini Laura Mercier primer. I got this from a girlfriend. She said that she loves it, and like, to be honest, I haven't really played with it. I had it in my kit for a bit, and then for some reason I just didn't get around to using it. So I'm gonna play with it some more. I already moisturized my skin. Today for my foundation, I kind of want it to be matte, so I'm using the Wet n Wild foundations. These are the photo, what are they called? Photo Focus foundations, and these are very, they're amazing actually. They last a very long time. The other thing too is that they actually like sit on the skin pretty matte. Every once in a while, like if you're oily, it will break down, but for the most part, they're pretty matte. So for days like today, it's a little bit humid out. I'm gonna put this on, and it still feels light enough too. I always get hair in this. So I like mixing two colors. I mix the golden beige and the caramel. Caramel's a little bit too dark for me on its own, but it's a great one to mix with. I kind of like mix it with everything. Alright, I'm gonna take a little elf brush and just stipple it on. I like to do this first because I find that like the beauty blender will just suck up all the foundation before you're even like ready to mix. So I like to mix it first and then blend it out with the beauty blender. It's beautiful outside. It's been like in the high 80s, which is we've been like waiting for, but I know I'm not ready for that kind of weather. I like brought out clothes that I don't even know that fits me anymore. Definitely not beach body ready. But yesterday we were celebrating my dog's 6th birthday, so we took him to unofficial dog beach. I won't say where because it's not really allowed. And he had such a good time. We gave him a cupcake because it's his birthday. He never eats cupcakes or treats like that. Actually, let's just use the, I'm just going to use this concealer. This is the Wet n Wild concealer. My sister just got 2 colors, and I can't remember what color she got now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm going to try this guy. I haven't worn this by itself, I don't think. And people say it's comparable to the Tarte Shape Tape. I don't know if it is. I haven't like, at the time that I got this, I didn't have the tape shape for a while, so I really didn't know like how well the tape shape like worked, and it's amazing, you guys, but it's also not that cheap. But it lasts a long time. I'm really impressed at how long it's lasted. I'm gonna just put a tiny bit on my lids just to prepare for my eyeshadow. I don't think it compares to the Shape Tape already. It's pretty like on its own though. Like it doesn't have to be compared to another foundation concealer to be good. I'm taking some Laura Mercier powder and I'm just going to dust that on top of my eyelids because I want it to be like a very smooth, non-skippy base for my eyeshadows. And the reason I'm using this guy as opposed to a different powder is the Laura Mercier powder for me and my skin type, it just doesn't budge. Like, it's so good for oily skin. It's good for keeping everything matte as well. Okay, I got a couple of palettes sent to me from Cleof Cosmetics. It's off Cleof.com, and I was like, whatever, nah. But then I saw what brands they had on there. They had like City Color on there. They have, what's this called? Yeah, City Color like palettes and stuff like that. So I thought I would like play with it. This is not City Color. This is NickaK New York. And I saw this palette and I was like, I want to play with that actually. So go ahead and send that over. So this is my first time playing with these. I haven't played with them before. Everything on their site's pretty inexpensive. They have this one train case that I'm kind of like really wanting. It's like a brush case. Anyways, so they have some cool stuff in there. It's a very limited product, but the products that they do have, they're very inexpensive. So this is the palette I'm going to play with, and then there's a couple other shimmery colors from Clean Color that are like duochrome shiny colors, so I might play with those too. I see City Color all the time at Five Below, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I don't need it. But when they were asked to send stuff, I was like, actually, yeah, because I've been wanting City Color for a while, and for some reason I just couldn't get myself to buy it for myself. I think it's because I have a lot of eyeshadows, but still. What I'm also going to be using from their site are these brushes. They came in a really perfect, it's like a bamboo set. They're all like dual fiber brushes. I played with these for a while now, and there are some that I like and some that I'm like about, but for the price, this whole package is actually worth it. So I'll talk through some of these as well. So this is their fluffy brush. I don't love this for buffing out like a transition color, but I will use this on the outer crease to target everything. I'm gonna start with this color right here, which is like the same old color I always use, and I'm gonna put that in my crease. This reminds me of the texture of a 350 palette, actually. They're really good transition colors. Okay, I think I already have my palette for traveling. They're really good. I didn't swatch any of these either, so I don't like believe in swatches. Swatches are just like, it's almost like the worst thing ever, because they just don't really give you, it's just not realistic for how colors wear on your eyelids on top of base or on top of, you know, like it's just totally different. Alright, I'm going to check out this color. This is the Sprinkle palette. It's really pretty, actually. These, a couple of them I did swatch. There were a couple that were a little bit too dry for me, but there were some that I liked. So I think today, should I try purple? I haven't done purple in a while. I'm going to try that purple. I might play with that purple and then a couple of the purples from the palette, but yeah, let me try that. And then I'm going to use this flat brush. This is like what's usually targeted. Usually they're bigger, but this is a great brush, very comparable to something like this from MAC. The shapes are extremely similar. They feel very close. This one's a little bit more dense, which is nice, because you can pack out some ochre color. So I'm going to use that lighter purple in the palette, this guy. Purples, just for some reason, especially light purples, they don't grip onto eyes as well as other ones. Yeah, it's very faint. So let me try it with a spray. The spray I'm using is the Mehron Barrier Spray. I swear by this for the eyes. It just grips on colors in a way that's like none other. Yes. You can see it already. That Mehron spray just like does something else. Alright, I'm using that other bamboo brush, the one I was talking about before, just to cut into like this area. That's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. Alright, I'm going back to this palette, and I'm going to use this color right here. It's really good, like purple. It actually reminds me very like Shadowy Lady mixed with Fig 1 from MAC. And I'm going to put that on the outer crease. Yep, that's showing up. This palette's really impressive. I don't know about this concealer. I don't wear it by itself often, but when I always forget. Usually it's like an everyday kind of look, and I don't need to look at it again. I don't like the way it is by itself, so I'm gonna put on top the Tarte Shape Tape. What I'll usually use this concealer for is like a highlighting kind of deal, but by itself you do need to set it, and I didn't set it, but still I just don't like the way it looks. I'm gonna bring it on the inside. So I'm gonna take that purple with a pencil brush. This pencil brush is actually very soft. I usually, whenever I get brushes from companies, I will put the softest ones into my kit and I keep the roughest ones. So when I got this one, I was like, I'm keeping this for myself. And I'm so happy I did because it makes such a difference when it's soft. I'm going to do a very close lash line liner with the Revlon Color Stay pen. Alright, very quickly, I'm going to fill in my brows, curl my lashes, and then put mascara on. The mascara today that I'm going to put on is the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. So I'm going to speed through that. Alright, to sharpen up my brows, I'm taking the Studio Finish Concealer in NC35 and this little teeny weeny angle brush. This is like ideal. I was working a wedding in Georgia and I had two of my angle brushes there with me. One I used for brows, one I used for cleaning up like this. And I don't know where they went. So ever since then I haven't really been cleaning up my brows lately because that brush was literally like what I used and everything else just didn't really work as well. So when I got this and I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be perfect. So now I use this to clean out my brows. And so I just put a little bit underneath. I don't put too much because it's a very like emollient, like creamy concealer. So I don't want it to kind of spread into the eyeshadow. But I'll then take my finger and just kind of use that to blend it. It just makes my brows sharper. And again, I haven't done this in forever because I didn't have a brush perfect for it. So yeah, this the stuff that I got, like, granted it's free and obviously I can, like, you know, say whatever I want about it. I've gotten free stuff where I haven't even shown on here, and that's that. But this brush set I actually do like. There's a few brushes from this set that I'm like, what? They're these like short handle ones. They're just okay, but I've already found myself using this to kind of like clean this area. So there's uses for it, but they're not necessarily my favorite. So I didn't even bring them out there to talk about them. But I don't have any discount codes or anything like that. I don't have to put any links or anything like that. So whenever it's that kind of setup, I'll do it. Under my eyes, I'm not gonna bake per se. I'm just gonna add a little bit of setting powder underneath it. This is the Laura Mercier one, and then just like buff it out as I'm placing it. I want to do this before I add my bottom lash line colors because then it'll be harder to do this and it will mix with the purple and that's not going to be cool. So I'm going to do a little bit right here. And I'm also going to put some around my nose just because this is where I always get oily. As I set the rest of my face, I'm using the Wet n Wild pressed powder. This one's in the color Golden Tan. It's probably like the best match for me. It's a very light coverage, so I don't necessarily use it for coverage. I use it just to like set the face because it can get a little sticky if I don't. I look ghostly in my camera viewfinder, but I don't look ghostly in person. Alright, under my eyes, I'm going back with the purple from the original palette. I'm gonna go underneath that side. I'm gonna go underneath in the inner corners. I'm gonna leave a section in there blank. I'm gonna go back in with that like pastel purple color. I need to spray it because it's gonna give you the better payoff. And then I'm gonna dab it in the center bottom. I'm gonna put a little bit more in the outer crease just to make it deeper. Alright, let me put some lower lash line mascara. I tried putting bronzer with this brush and I think it was just a little bit too dense. It's good for like carving out, but it was just too dense for me. I like putting the like packing on powder with this, so I'm not going to use that. And then for my bronzer, I'm going to use my favorite. This is the Glam Bronze from L'Oreal. These are back in the store, and I actually found one when I was out in the suburbs doing a wedding, so I didn't find one locally in my Walgreens, but they are back. So I bought myself 2 extra. I'm so glad I did, because it's just my favorite looking bronzer. I'm bringing a little bit on my cheeks. And there's one brush in here that reminds me of like the JD Weighty brush from, I forget, I don't even know what brand it is, maybe Beige Cosmetics or whatever. And it's this one. It's an angle fluffy brush. And I've been using it on my nose. And it's been like working really well. Another product that I didn't really know about that my sister did was this Maybelline product. It's an eyeshadow that people have been going crazy about for highlight. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I bought it for you. I'm like, all right, cool, let me try it. And it's amazing. So I'm using this guy. It's like a really tightly pinched brush. And I really like it actually for my highlighter. But look at how amazing that is. Like, wow. So when she first gave it to me, I was like, okay, cool, I can see it, yeah. And I swatched it, I'm like, okay, that's pretty. But holy crap, when I put it on, I was like, this, I get it. It's very, very beautiful. It's very fine too. What I like about it too is that it's gold. But it's also still blinding. And then it actually reminded me a lot of Whisper of Guilt by MAC. I'm going to put a little bit of my finger. Okay, now I'm just going to set my brows with the Essence. Sometimes I feel like my brows are a little just too, like, I don't know, not defined. And every time I put this back on, it makes, that's what's like the difference. So I'm a believer. I'm just gonna wipe off everything that's on my lips. So for now, I'm gonna use this NYX lip pencil. This one's in the color brown, and I did this yesterday and I really liked it. So I'm roughly outlining my lipstick, and then I'm using 61 Matte Naked from Milani. I said that weird. Milani, and kind of dragging it on top. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll try this guy. This is an eyeshadow that I talked to you guys about. It's a baked shadow. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, yeah. I like the way that looks. I'm gonna put a little bit more underneath my eyes. I need to get close. My hair and then come back. Alright guys, that's the finished makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed the Get Ready With Me. As you guys can see, I'm still trying to figure out my setup and my background, so it's just gonna be like this until I figure out another way. But thanks for hanging in there with me and being patient as I was waiting to upload a video. I was doing a lot of reorganization, and then it finally dawned on me, I need to film a video. Yeah, I'll post another one very, very soon, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.